My boss wrongfully fired me, so I ruined his business. I used to work for a small IT company, which was run by this absolute jerk of a boss, who I'll call Frank. I mean, this guy was the epitome of a terrible boss. In the beginning, when he needed me the most, he was great, but lately he has been condescending, micromanaging, and always seemed to have it out for me in particular. Anyway, one day, I come into work and find out that I've been fired. No warning, no nothing. When I asked why, Frank told me some BS about me not being a team player and undermining company morale. What a load of crap, right? Rumor was that he believed he was paying me too much, and now that he had what he needed from me, he was going to let me go so that he could make more profits by not having to pay me. What a piece of garbage. I literally helped put his company on the map. I was furious, but I decided that I wasn't going to take this lying down. Instead, I started planning my vengeance. The thing is, Frank's company relied heavily on a piece of proprietary software that I had built from the ground up. I knew this software inside and out, and I knew that without it, the company would be up a creek without a paddle. So I hatched a plan to hit Frank where it would hurt the most, his precious business. The first thing I did was to get my hands on a copy of the software. This wasn't too hard because I still had some friends on the inside who were more than willing to help me out. Once I had the software, I started scouring through the code, looking for vulnerabilities that I could exploit. It took some time, but eventually I found the perfect one, a small bug in the code that would allow me to access the company's entire database. Jackpot. I bided my time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. A few weeks went by, and I heard from one of my old coworkers that the company was about to land a huge contract, one that would basically guarantee their success for years to come. Perfect. That's when I decided to make my move. One night, when I knew that no one would be in the office, I remotely accessed the company's database using the vulnerability I had found. I downloaded all of their client information, project details, and financial data. Then, I wiped the entire system clean. I erased everything. When the employees came in the next day, they were greeted with a completely blank slate. No one could access anything, not their emails, not their files, nothing. Of course, Frank was livid. He knew that I was the only person with the knowledge and skills to pull off something like this, and he tried to pin it on me. But since I had taken precautions to cover my tracks, he had no proof. The best part, the company that was about to sign that huge contract, they backed out when they heard about the data breach, citing concerns about the company's security practices. Ouch. Over the next few weeks, I watched from afar as Frank's business crumbled. Without the software and data that I had wiped, they couldn't keep up with their workload, and they started losing clients left and right. It wasn't long before the company went under entirely. Karma's a bitch, but I wasn't done yet. Oh no, I still had one more ace up my sleeve. Remember all that data I had downloaded from the company's database? Well, I decided to put it to good use. I reached out to some of Frank's biggest clients, the ones that he had screwed over in the past, either by overcharging them or by delivering subpar work, and I offered them a deal they couldn't refuse. I had all their project files, the inside scoop on Frank's shady business practices, and the know-how to complete their projects with the expertise they deserve. In exchange for a discounted rate, these clients agreed to work with me directly. Before long, word spread about what I had done, and more clients started reaching out to me for help. I knew I had to seize this opportunity, so I started my own IT company, using all the knowledge and experience I had gained from my time at Frank's company. Now, here's the cherry on top of this delicious revenge sundae. I ended up hiring a bunch of my old coworkers, who had been left jobless after Frank's company tanked. They were more than happy to jump ship and work for someone who treated them with respect and valued their skills. And with all the clients we had acquired, we had more than enough work to keep us busy. So, not only did I manage to ruin Frank's business, but I also built my own successful company in its place. And as for Frank, last I heard, he was working some dead-end job, trying to make ends meet. I guess it's true what they say, you reap what you sow. Now, whenever I think back on my sweet, sweet revenge, I can't help but smile. Sure, it might have been petty, and maybe I went a little overboard, but I like to think I was just doing what needed to be done. Frank was a terrible boss, and he got what was coming to him. Plus, I was able to create a better working environment for my old coworkers and provide quality service to our clients. In the end, I'd say it was a win-win. Now for some of the comments. Dude, that story was epic. I wish I had the skills to pull off something like that. Frank sounds like a great jerk, and he totally deserved what he got. Good on you for taking control of the situation and turning it into a success story. Also, love that you helped out your old coworkers. That's some real karma in action. Wow, that was an intense read. While I understand your anger and frustration, I can't help but think that maybe you took things a bit too far. Sure, Frank was awful, but did his entire business need to go under? Just some food for thought. Nonetheless, it's great that you managed to create a better working environment for your former coworkers. OMG, I'm dying. This is hands down the best revenge story I've ever read. The way you went all stealthy and wiped their system clean like a freaking ninja is just pure gold. I'm not usually one for revenge, but man, this story just made my day. Frank got a taste of his own medicine, and it's just too perfect. As someone who works in IT, I can't help but be a little concerned about the ethics of this story. Yes, Frank was a terrible boss, and it's awesome that you managed to create a better company, but hacking into their system and wiping everything clean is a pretty serious offense. Just be careful, because if someone ever traces it back to you, you could be in some real legal trouble. I have to say, I'm torn on this one. On one hand, I've dealt with my fair share of awful bosses, and I can understand the satisfaction that comes from getting revenge. On the other hand, I'm not sure I'd have the guts to do what you did. It seems pretty risky. Either way, it's an entertaining story, and I'm glad things worked out for you and your coworkers in the end. So what do you think? Did the boss get what he deserved, or did he take it too far? Let us know what you think in the comments below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.